9th. Hopefully you guys had a incredible, for those of you that had a spring break or went somewhere for spring break, hope you had a great spring break. For those that celebrated Easter, hope you had an incredible Easter. And I apologize for a little bit of the delay this morning. I went a little overboard on the data this morning because I was curious as to what I was feeling, if it was accurate, and I wanted to provide you really, really accurate information to know, so that you guys know I wasn't blowing a bunch of hot air as to where the market stands, right? So with that, we're going to go a lot into what do I see in Q1 and what is it that you are feeling, and hopefully I'm validating what you're feeling, because when I looked at the data as to what's going on within our market in Q1, it validated the way I was feeling, which is a good thing. I think here's kind of what I know, right? In a world that is uncertain as it relates to our industry, and we've talked a lot about that 2 weeks ago in our team meeting, and if you've been paying attention to the media, there's been a lot of other things that have been going on. In a world that has been uncertain, if you do the activities and you continue to do what you know what to do and how you to do it and what you love to do, it will provide stability for you. And the reason I know that is the tide is rising within our market when you compare it Q1 versus this year versus Q1 of last year. And so if you just do the activities and we put our heads down and we continue to do what we know what to do, and we serve those with love, care, respect, and we continue to build our reputations, everything else will take care of itself. We'll help you navigate the change, but everything else will take care of itself as you do the stuff. If you get caught up in the what is going to happen, nothing will happen. Make sense? And so my goal today is to put a little bit of wind into your sails to say, guys, a lot of positives happening. Let's just keep put our heads down and you'll get the results that you desire to get out of this market. Make sense? Sweet. Don't sound so excited to be back in this room after 2 weeks off. All right. So mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives. 2 things I wanted to touch on today is 1, commitment in all things. And 2, teamwork, everyone achieves more. Okay. And there is nothing better that personifies those 2 things within our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives than Red Day. Okay. And I want to share with you a little bit of something around what Red Day is. For those of you who don't know, it's renew, energize, and donate within our communities. It's giving where we live. And I think this is an incredible quote by Jackie Robinson that I've shared for several years. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. And what I love about Red Day is we take our collective efforts in terms of the 500 to 600 associates in Southeastern Wisconsin, and we go make an impact of where it is that we live within the communities that we serve. And I'd like to take you a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Okay. And the reason why I want to take you down a trip down memory lane is this. I hear it every single year. I don't have time for Red Day. I don't want to do Red Day. I don't do this. I don't do that. And then people sign up and they make the commitment and they show up and they do it. And you know what I hear afterwards? I've never once heard that was a waste of my time, or I didn't feel fulfillment in what it is that I was doing, or I didn't get energy in the heat of the spring moment. I didn't get.
I'm gonna go that way. Thank you.
Everyone benefits from taking time in the heat of the spring moment to give back to where we live. So if you look back in 2019, we had a group of folks that went and built a bunch of houses down in inner city Milwaukee for Habitat for Humanity. Right? It was a fun day. It was a rainy day. Everyone was like, you know what? We're here. Let's have fun. Let's smile, laugh, and be together. Then 2020 hit. It was a little bit different. We didn't really know how to navigate it, but here was the really cool thing. In 2020 in May, okay, because it always does it in May, you got to remember, in May of 2020, the entire world was still shut down. If you don't recall, June is like when it really kind of opened back up again. And we rallied our troops to collect 1,600 pounds of food for the River West Food Pantry. 1,600 pounds. It was the largest single collective effort River West Food Pantry had in what they would consider to be one campaign during 2020. And during 2020, when a lot of people were out of work, it was a huge impact it had within our community for those that were really, really in desperate need of resources. Then in 2021, we still had a little bit of trying to figure out how we move forward with something in person, and a lot of nonprofits didn't want to host people. So what did? We found this really cool guy out at Zacharias Acres, and he allowed 50 of us to come out on his farm that serves underprivileged disability youth to help give back to his farm. And we had such a good time. We said, great, let's run it back. And we did it again in 2022. And we basically tripled the size of the group that served in 2022. And then we said, That was so impactful. Let's do it again in 2023. And we went from 40 associates to 75 associates to 140 associates here. And we also served at the United Way Diaper Bank that had 75 associates. So in 2023, we had 215 associates who participated. And what was the impact that we had? It's Icorize Acres alone. We had 148 associates who participated. We planted 1,300 Christmas trees. This was their number one revenue source. They plant Christmas trees, they sell the Christmas trees at an exorbitant margin, and that's how they make their money in order for Icorize Acres to continue. Our one group was the equivalent of 16 corporate groups that serve them in that day, right? It has a huge impact. At the United Way Diaper Bank, we packed 32,275 diapers at the United Way Diaper Bank. Now, good news, bad news with this. The great news is we make a huge impact when we collectively work together. The bad news is it's really difficult to find nonprofit organizations that want basically 250 plus people that want to give back all at one moment. So the great news is for 2024, we have a variety of options to choose your own adventure. Okay, here's what we have. And the QR code is how you can register. Kathleen's also sent this out a handful of times. Okay, one, there's a group of a max of 40 that can serve at Icorize Acres similarly as to what we've done the last 2 to 3 years. It's an incredible day. If you've never spent time with Terry at Icorize Acres, your life will be better for it, just simply being in his presence. 2, we are serving the Hunger Task Force this year. The Hunger Task Force in 2 ways. One, they also have a farm that helps the farm infuses 500,000 pounds of fresh fruit and vegetables into the food bank supply every single year. So we're going to go work at their farm. 3, they also need help at their warehouse. 4, new wrinkle this year, we're going to serve at Courage MKE, which is a collaborative movement to provide housing and resources and services needed for displaced and homeless LGBTQ youth in the Milwaukee community. They need help. We're willing to help. 4, Franklin Little League needs some help getting their fields getting ready for the season. So here's what we're doing. We are creating, 5 opportunities for you during Red Day this year. 5 opportunities to give back, to make an impact. And I know that collectively, when we make an impact, it can be huge. And we looked for things across the variety of the geographic metro area to allow you guys to sign up for ways of like, look, you don't want to go to Oconomowoc for Icorize Acres. It's too far. You don't want to fight traffic. Cool. Sign up for Hunger Task Force Warehouse, which is like 10 minutes down the road. The Lake Country folks want to stay in Oconomowoc. Great. Sign up for Icorize Acres. If Courage MKE moves you, great. Sign up for Courage MKE. For the New Berlin folks or Southwest folks or anybody who lives in the Southwestern metro area and you want to serve at the Franklin Little League fields, great. So what we're going to do is we have 5 locations for you. It's on Thursday, May 9th. Just please note ahead of time, all of our offices will be closed because all leadership will be participating in Red Day. Renew, energize, and donate. Thursday, May 9th. You have 5 options to participate. We will have site captains that will rally the crew and make sure that everyone has a fun day. For those that are serving a full day, we will make sure that we feed you. And it will be an incredible day of your use of your time and your energy. Because I've never heard anybody said when they've made the effort that it wasn't worth the effort and what they got back by giving of their time, energy, and resources. Make sense? Sweet. So be on the lookout if you want to register today. The QR code's up on the screen. Otherwise, Wooten, I'm sure we'll be sending this out a variety more times as a way for you guys to register. Cool. With that, I'm flipping it over to Lindsay Vranek, who's going to help walk you through a variety of things around Tech Tuesday. Linz.
Happy birthday, Lindsay. Oh, thank you guys. Nice. All right. Oh, yes, thank you. All right, good morning. So we recognize that we put out a lot of information and a lot of resources, and the last few months has been no exception. So I just really wanted to take some time to go through the Agent Hub. And this was designed to really help you guys navigate and find where everything is in one place. The great thing about this is that it's exclusive to our associates. So the Agent Hub is located on our website. So it's in both the navigation menu at the very top, as well as directly on the homepage. And so I wanted to just take a few moments to kind of just go through the site. I get a lot of questions on where to find things. And so I just think it's really important to make sure that you guys know where to find these resources. We added a ton of different things into a Google Drive folder for value squared and how to articulate your value to your buyers and sellers. So I'm going to show you guys where everything is located. So as I said, the Agent Hub, you can either click on the navigation menu at the top or right here on the homepage. This is probably going to take you to a page that looks like this. So everyone has been added into this portal. And if you click on sign up with Google, it should take you directly in here. You'll want to use the either your KW email account, or if any sort of email account that you use for your business should take you and get you into this page. So here's the Agent Hub. You'll notice that we've got the training calendar on here. We also have the listing network. So when Willis sends out those emails, this is what he's talking about when he's talking about the Agent Hub has been updated. But you can find that updated listing report right in here. You can also submit your coming soon single party excluded listings directly on here as well. We've got brokers open, so if you want to view that tour sheet today, that's right in there. Miscellaneous forms. So one of the things that has been recently added is the return of earnest money procedure. So if you have a deal that cammers and you need to know what's next, what do you do? We do have that document that's been added recently right in there. I can find where my site went. Few other things. So as you continue to scroll down here, we've got the compliance helpline. If you ever need to set up a tech or marketing meeting with myself or Kathleen, our schedules are on there. If you're looking for team meeting slides, those are always going to be updated after team meeting on Tuesdays. And so that's going to, again, take you directly to a Google Drive folder. All of those slides are in there from past team meetings. We got our office rosters. But one thing that I mentioned earlier, articulating your value. So this is now under office resources. We've compiled everything that you need to know how to articulate your value to your buyers and sellers in this folder. So not only do we have some of the resources that KWRI released, an FAQ, the value squared slides, but we also put together this sheet, which really kind of compiles some of the trainings that we've done recently. So we've got a few contract trainings that we've done in the last, few months. Special guests like Kathy Shaw, Martha Ola, that Steph and Joan have had on contract training. So these are all linked on here. So you don't have to go scrolling through our YouTube channel and trying to find all of these. We've compiled them for you guys. We have the buyer agency compensation panel that we did last month, as well as script practice with Joan and Jay. That was just a couple weeks ago. So if you missed any of those are all linked on here as well. Again, that's just all in that folder. We've got some things from Jeff Glover in here. So a lot of really great stuff, you guys. All right. New associates, any of our new agents, Kim Gertis has done a really good job of really, again, pulling together a lot of resources. And we've just recently added this productivity coaching resources folder as well. And so what she's done is actually gone in and combed through past trainings on our YouTube channel, past productivity coaching, even from like a couple years ago, relevant information that still pertains to today. And so you'll see all of these different PDF files in here, resources on the MLS, your listing presentation, CMAs, showings, working with buyers. So you'll see all of these in here. And again, there are links in here directing you to some of those video resources. All right. And then finally, just a couple things with check-in marketing. I get a lot of people asking me where some of those local resources are. you know, a spring cleaning checklist, local dog parks, hiking trails, where can I find all of those? Those are also linked right under tech and marketing resources, marketing and social posts. So that is gonna, again, take you into this folder. So if you're looking for a holiday social post, if you're looking for some of those MLS market updates, but then we've got this 12 direct postcard campaign folder. Madison area folks, we did just recently add a folder for some content specifically to Madison. But then we also have all of the images directly in here. So one of the new ones we've got are beer gardens. So local Milwaukee, Madison also has one as well. So if you're looking for something like that, we do have this uploaded into the Google Drive folder. And like all 12 direct campaigns, every single one of these are going to be added as a email smart plan in command. So again, these are grab and go. Feel free to take these, edit these as you need. Let me know if you need any edits to any of the content that you see in here. Happy to help with all of that. But besides just the Agent Hub, you know, we've got a ton of other things on here. One thing to note as well, on the locations page, this is where you can go in and reserve a conference room. So make sure you're utilizing that. So these are all going to be linked to the appropriate SCADA websites where you can reserve a conference room for any of the market centers, any of the 4 market centers. So those are all located on there as well. All right, back to my slides here. Oops. Maybe not. Okay. All right, so again, that Google Drive folder has all of those resources in there. Don't forget the YouTube channel, you guys. But again, we're trying to make this as simple and easy as possible for you guys to find everything that you need. But we do have playlists broken out on our YouTube channel so that it should hopefully be really easy to find everything. I went over the earnest money procedures, so that's located in the miscellaneous forms. You'll also find any like referral forms, W-9 forms in there as well. New 12 direct campaigns. And then finally, we're back at it with tech and marketing training. So if you guys are interested in learning more about your agent sites, we're gonna again take a deep dive into that this Thursday. So we're sticking with Thursdays at 11. Anytime you are interested in learning more about Command, any KW technology, we're gonna be talking about the KW apps in a couple weeks as well. So a really great training to hone in on how to utilize the Command app, how to utilize your consumer search app, how to share that with clients, how to add value is really, really important. So check out training this April. We've got some good topics. And that's it. Thank you.
I just will say, and I've said this many times before, but I know I have to tell you 9 times out of 10 before you hear it. I don't think that the group fully appreciates the amount of resources that are available and accessible to you at any given time. Lindsay, Kim, Wooten, Britt, the rest of the team has done an incredible job pulling together resources for you. And if you don't know what to do or where to go, just go to kwrealtymke.com, and it's a great place to start to like, all right, do I need marketing support? Do I need help with training and education? Also, I will tell you, all of that stuff will be continuously updated because I know that we're pouring into you in a moment of change where anything that we continuously do will be added to these things. So as you want to talk about articulating your value, every time we do something, it will be added to that sheet in case you missed it, if you want to go back and rewatch it or re-listen. The other reason why I share that with you is I had someone come up to me recently and they said, wow, I think I've heard this 10 times, but it wasn't until the 10th time with the 10th different voice where I finally clicked with me. And as we learn how to navigate change and what that means and how you're going to implement change within your businesses, I would implore you to continue to lean into your education so that you learn how to navigate the market of the moment. Make sense? Cool. I also need one huge favor for you. Okay. Everyone either grab your phone or grab a piece of paper, and I need you to write this number down. And if you're writing it down on your phone, you can send it a text. Okay. It's 262. It's 262. It's 352. 4571. That's Lindsay Vranick's cell phone. Do me a favor, shoot her a text for her birthday because she's an incredibly valuable member to our team. And I would love for you guys to show your love and support for her on her birthday. Also, the reason why I'm doing this, typically we tell our leadership team they're not allowed to come into the office on their birthday. And I didn't realize Lindsay was going to continuously show up for Tuesday team meeting because it's an important part of what we do. So Linz, I appreciate it. And guys, if you want to flood her inbox, I would appreciate it. 262-352-4571. Cool. All right, Linz. Linz, how old are you?
Charlie.
She's 25. I don't know why it's such a, I'm just kidding. Linz, I just was trying to put you on the spot. The year of Pippin. She's turning the year of Pippin. So, all right,
All right.
here we go. Back on topic in a little bit as the train is off the tracks. Here we go. Steph, Lieutenant, what do these guys need to know around a variety of different things because we haven't had compliance in over 6 weeks. So there's a variety of things that these guys should be paying attention to. What is it and how can they, what do they need to know?
Yeah, we just have Joan and I just have a few housekeeping.
Steph, you may be muted.
Oh, am I muted? No, I shouldn't be.
Nope, this is just me. Hold on, sorry.
Okay. You got it?
Hold on, Steph. Give me a test.
You got it? I'm here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me okay?
Give me something.
I'm here. I know I'm unmuted. I don't know. Is it?
You're fine on.
It seems like the rest of Zoom can hear. Microphone is definitely good.
You're good.
Okay.
Steph,
All
it's
right.
user error. You know, I go on vacation for 2 weeks and you thought I'd never done this before. Go ahead, Steph.
Okay, so again, Joan and I just have a few housekeeping announcements for you guys today. So showing time was sunsetted as of yesterday. Mr. Willis sent out a mass email to everybody last week for a reminder. MLS has also sent out emails for this as a reminder. But if you have forgotten, make sure that you are going into the details section in MLS and making sure that you are clicking that aligned showings is your preferred showing service, as showing time is no longer integrated into MLS. Yes.
Steph, you got to repeat the
Yes.
question.
The question is if you did not go in and change the showing service to aligned showings, what happened? Nothing happened. It is now not integrated, but you do have to go in and physically change it to aligned showings in MLS manually.
So what if there is a house you would like to see that says scheduled from short time?
It's,
Or a separate-
you would have to go and log into showing time, search for the address that you want to show, and then set it up that way. So, and you know, we can't really field more tech questions on the bugs that are happening with aligned showings yet. But they're all being handled.
Guys, I'll tell you this. I've been inundated with feedback. I think for those who've been around a while, you know my energy around the MLS. I do have to give them credit in one thing. They've been, I would say they've been appropriately reactive to the feedback and working diligently to address the concerns that the agent population has on the platform. I was very concerned 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we had Jared on and I kind of challenged him and which the urgency they were working with. And I would say I've been impressed. So the reason why I say that is don't hesitate to continuously shoot us the feedback so that we can forward it on to Jared, because they have been very active in elevating the platform. That's about what I will say on that. Ready? Cool.
We do have one more question here, if I can.
Is there a subscription point? It's like that we log in, you know what I mean, to book it, people are using it, but are we gonna lose access at some point? Because that's not, do you get what I'm saying? If another agent is trying time, we're not gonna lose access to it.
I don't believe so. As a listing agent, you would be the one paying for it, per month. And then as a buyer's agent, you can still just log in. You don't have to, you don't have to pay, right? So the question is if we have to pay monthly as buyer's agents to set up showings, no, you do not. Okay. All right, next slides, Charlie. I think you can just skip over this one. This one, I just wanted to remind you guys, sometimes it may be the case where your buyers want to write in an additional contingency. And just a reminder that there is a roadmap for this language on the addendum A on page 4. So last page of the addendum A is lines 206 to 215. I'm looking right at Jean right now. She's a good example of somebody who had this recently. And a good example, her buyer wanted to see a set of subdivision HOA docs before before feeling comfortable moving forward. So this is a good roadmap for you to use if you want to add a contingency. So it would be the offer is contingent upon buyer reviewing HOA docs on or before. You could put in a timeline here, 2 days after acceptance. In the event that the buyer does not wish to move forward after reviewing documents, buyer may at buyer's option terminate the offer, etc. So just a reminder to use this language if you have an additional contingency to use. Okay. And next up, record retention. So just a reminder that yes, you know, we as the compliance team are keeping records of all of our contracts in our opportunities, of course, but you as the agents need to make sure that we're keeping our emails and our texts for at least 2 years. And oftentimes it might not even be for a situation that you would be brought into, but we might need to supply records for a potential case between buyer and seller. So just a reminder, please make sure you're keeping those records on any transaction for 2 years, emails and texts. And then from the contract helpline and Kimmy, just a few reminders. So new agents, when you're coming through, make sure that you are texting the helpline right away with your name, whether or not you have a question. Steph and Sarah Jo just want to make sure they've got a line of sight to you so that when you do have a question, they know who you're talking to and they can save your number right away. And then contract helpline hours, again, are from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But if you do need help with after hours, or if you know you've got a contingency deadline coming up, just arrange with Steph or Sarah Jo and they will be happy to help you after hours, of course. And then just a general thank you because I've been getting a lot of great questions, so keep them coming. And then from Kimmy, feel like a broken record with this, but we've got a lot of late files. So just please remember you're submitting your opportunities within 7 days.
And if you are late, remember we have a fine schedule, and those that benefit from the fine schedule are those that get educational scholarships throughout the year. And those that have gotten the educational scholarships appreciate those that don't have their stuff together within submitting their opportunities in 7 days.
Yes, thank you. And then April is Fair Housing Month. We're not going to take a deep dive into that today. But just want to put on your radar that Joni is going to be going over fair housing next week, Monday at contract training, which is at 12 p.m. And then again at the meeting next Tuesday. So that is all we have today.
Sweet. All right, you ready to sharpen your axe? Here's what you need to know. Training and education, it's robust, and it's robust for a reason. If you don't know what the reason is, you've been living under a rock. Okay, April training calendar is out. Tons of opportunities for you to pour into what it is that you need to know on how to navigate where it is that we are. Okay, second, the serving committee, outside of Red Day coming up on Thursday, May 9th, has opportunities this month. Every Thursday, it's serving at the Milwaukee Rescue Mission. 1 in 4 neighbors in Milwaukee are living in poverty right now. 1,000 people don't have a place to call home, and 35% of children within Milwaukee live below the poverty line every week, every Thursday in the month of April. The serving committee has put together opportunities where, listen, if you're ever feeling down or you're having a little bit of stress or you need a little pressure, there's never better been an opportunity for you to serve in order to help uplift your spirits, because what you give in this world is what you get in this world. So opportunities exist throughout the month of April. Also coming up this week, April 10th and April 25th, Value Squared with Gary, Jason, and Jay, all around how to articulate your value. You got to hear it 3 or 4 times in 3 or 4 different ways in order for you to understand what it is that you need to do in order to navigate the market of the moment. So upcoming dates, April 10th and April 25th. Yep, I can go back. Good. Yep, of course. April 29th, we have Jeff Clover coming in to give his 5-step listing presentation, learn around how he lists hundreds of homes a year in the Michigan market, as well as the second portion is how he's going to be navigating conversations with buyers in the event that he needs to articulate his value in order to get what he's worth in those conversations. So 1 to 4 p.m., April 29th, down at the War Memorial downtown. Lastly, if you have been paying attention, Jason Abrams has been hosting a phenomenal podcast interviewing millionaire real estate agents across the country. It's phenomenal. There's been 26 episodes. This week's episode is with Ben Kinney, who's out of the Portland, Oregon area. Ben, if you don't know who Ben is an incredible human, runs a really, really big team, also runs a platform called Place that helps provide support and resources to big teams. And highly encourage you to check out the podcast if podcasts are your thing and you want to learn from those that are making over $1 million a year in this business. The other really, really incredible thing that Jason, and I give him a ton of credit for, because he's done this in a variety of different ways, is every conversation, he is recapping the conversation into 1-page notes. And so the episodes are dropping on Mondays, and then on Thursdays, they will be force-fed you the notes if you decide to sign up. You can scan the QR code now in order to subscribe to the 1-page notes of all his conversations with millionaire real estate agents. Okay? His 1-pagers are absolutely fantastic. Highly, highly recommend. It's a really fantastic value add. Wins, maybe we can look to download those notes every Thursday to make sure that we upload it to the Agent Hub as well if people forget to subscribe. But I highly, highly recommend you pouring into this new resource provided to you from KW. Cool? All right. So here we go. Market insights for Q1 of 2024. I want to give a little bit of a recap from where we were to before we go into where we are. And one of the things that I get asked for the most is, what's your grocery store market of the moment script? And so guess what? It's back. I haven't done it in several months, but I boiled down my notes into what I would believe to be a really effective conversation starter for you when you go to get milk and eggs at the grocery store and someone goes, how's the market? Right? Because there's been a lot of discussion around how's the market lately with what's going on in the media. So a couple things. I've been saying this now for a couple of years, but there's 3 great reminders I would lead you with. 1, it's a humbling market. 2, great markets don't last, great agents do. And you're not in it for a great year, you're in it to build a great career. So before I start this, I went back and looked at my predictions that I gave to you back in December about where I thought the market was going. Okay. And here was my outlook that I shared with you back in December. 1, demographics are related to demand are in our favor. And I went through a variety of ways of why I believe demand is going to continue to rise within this country over the next 3 to 4 to 5 to maybe 10 years, because demographics are in our favor. Okay. Inventory, my prediction was inventory will be flat to slightly rise in 2024. Okay. And there was a variety of reasons of why I thought that. And I thought prices will continue to appreciate in mid-single digits. And rates will have adjusted, people will have adjusted to the rate environment, and we might even see a slight depreciation in rates. Okay. Those were my predictions that I gave to you last year at the end of 2023. And I said my energy around it was, if the market is flat, I'm super happy. And if the market is up single digits, I'm ecstatic. Okay. But the 3 things I want to pay you to focus on is 1, inventory will be flat to slightly rise. 2, prices will continue to appreciate and rates have normalized. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on within the market so far in Q1 of 2024. What I've done is I've been charting the lead metrics and lag metrics within our industry going back to March of last year, because March of last year, we saw continued shift major shifts happening. And I won't go through this by month, but you can see March through July, listings taken units were significantly down. And that significant downtrend impacted closed units. They go pretty much hand in hand. And then in August, we saw a shift. August was down 4 mid-single digits after a long period of down double-digit listings taken units. And then all of a sudden, when listings taken units improved, in September it improved, guess what happened? Closed units improved following 30 to 60 to 90 days later. So that's when we saw October, November, December. Now, I'm going to focus in here on Q1 of 2024. January, listings taken units were up 3.5%. Buyer side contract written units were up 0.5%, and closed units were up 1%. Now, mind you, dating back to December of last year, we had not had the tide rise in closed units in almost 2 years. We had 2 years of the tide regressing. Okay, so January was up 1%. February, listings taken was up 12, closed units was up 8, buyer side contracts written units was up 5. March, up 2 in closed units, down 6 in listings taken units, but I think that's a function too of how much inventory came to the market in February, and contracts written units was up 5. So if you blend the 3 months together of the Q1 of 2024 versus Q1 of 2023, closed units were up 5%. That's great. Listings taken units up 3.5%. That's fantastic. Now, it's relative because what good was down 10% or down 15% or down 20%, right? Contracts written units on the demand side up 5%. Okay. The trend is the tide is rising, albeit slowly, but the tide is coming back. That's positive for us. Okay. New inventory units in the month of March, I talked about it. They were down slightly. When you look at March of 22, they were down 25%. Then I looked at, this is something new. I haven't shared this with you before. This is quarter over quarter comparisons over the last 3 years. Quarter 1 of this year versus quarter 1 of 2023. I talked about this. Inventory was up 3.5%. Quarter 1 of 24 versus quarter 1 of 22, they were down 20%. And quarter 1 of 24 versus quarter 1 of 21, it was down 21%. The reason why I share this with you is a matter of perspective. We hit, as I had mentioned in Q3 and Q4, I believed we were hitting rock bottom. Now it's the tide is coming back and we need to be paying attention to it. And how do I know that? It's all based on relative performance of Q1 of 24 versus 23, 22, and 21. Okay. And I share this data with you and I kind of inundate you with data so that you know that I'm not blowing you with a bunch of hot air when I give you the grocery store market in the moment. Make sense? Okay. Total inventory. Again, total inventory was up this year in March slightly. It was up 26 units of total inventory. Now, when you compare the entire Q1 of this year versus the last 3 years, it's up 3.8% or 312 units. Again, positive numbers because when you look at where it has been versus 22 and 21, you can see the significant decline. So the fact that the tide is rising is positive. Okay. Expired inventory units. Here's a nugget for you. I haven't talked about expired inventory in a while because there wasn't a nugget to be shared. However, expired inventory is up 41% March of this year versus March of last year. Okay. There's 2 things I would glean from that. One, I don't believe that listing agents are right-sizing expectations with sellers when they go into a listing appointment and they're over-promising and under-delivering. And then when you under-deliver, you are the one that's getting canceled. Okay. The second piece of this is I do still continue to believe there is an opportunity to be number 2 by being truthful and honest in your approach, because there's 27% more expired listings in the first quarter of this year than there were last year. Hint, hint, that is hundreds of listings. So if it isn't an area of your business that you've ever focused on before, it might be something to be paying attention to. Expireds are up considerably, and that's in a market where velocity, rate of sale, and closed units are up. So it's not as if like the market's soft and inventory is sitting there. It's we have to right-size expectations, and I believe some listing agents have overpromised and under-delivered on what their services and value deliver for their clients. So they have unmatched or unrealistic expectations. Okay, sales absorptions, the percentage of inventory that goes under market, the reason, or goes under contract in a given month. The reason why I look at it is it helps us understand demand metrics. March's demand was 14% higher than the average of the last 12 months. March of this year was higher than the average of the last 12 months. Demand is rising again. Okay, when you look at it versus over the quarter 1 of this year versus quarter 1 of last year, it's up. When you look at it versus 22 and 21, the fact that it's only down 10% and minus 8%, considering what it's happened to affordability for consumers and the rate environment continuing to go up, this is actually very good. It's telling you that demand really has not subsided, despite the fact that we've seen over a 2 to 3 year period a down 20 to 30% on inventory. It means people are staying in the market. Okay, average days on market. We look at this because it helps you understand what the velocity and rate of sale, and this gets to my point around right sizing expectations with our listing clients. Okay, in March, it was 32 days on market. It's basically operating at the same pace it has been over the last 2 years in March. And when you consider what it has done over the last 3 years over the first quarter period, basically, here's what you need to know. First quarter of this year versus first quarter of last year, it's basically the same. First quarter of this year versus first quarter of 2022, basically the same. Mind you, 2022 was the crest of, was the starting of the downfall of the crest of the market. 2021, it's moving 7 days slower. 2021 was the crest of the market. The fact that it's only 7 days slower, I say, no big deal, whatever, right? And again, I share that with you because when you look at how many expired listings are on the market, it's right-sizing expectations and making sure you're articulating your value. Units under contract in the month of March, I talked about it, they're up 5%. When you look at quarter 1 versus last year, up 212 units went under contract. It's still down from 2022 and down considerably versus 2021 when it was the crest of the market. Okay, impacts on pricing. This is probably something people are most interested in. Pricing in the month of March was up 5% on the average, and it's up 18% versus March of 22. Median pricing is up 6% versus March of last year and 16% versus March of 22. Now, let's take a look at the quarter over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, the average home in southeastern Wisconsin has appreciated 24%. The median price point in southeastern Wisconsin over the last 3 years has appreciated 25%. That is significant appreciation. Okay. And so the reason why I share that with you is this. And then the price per square foot, you can see here, up 7% versus March of last year, up 14% versus 22. And you can see on a quarter by quarter basis over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, price per square foot is up 24%. Net, if someone says what's going on with pricing, pricing's up 24% over the last 3 years in the southeastern Wisconsin metro market. Okay. Now, so you're going to look at that and you say, what the hell does all that mean? And how do I boil it down in my elevator pitch when I go to the grocery store and I'm picking up milk and eggs and my neighbor asks me what's going on in the market? Here's kind of how I would boil it down. Feel free to alter this or utilize it however you want. This is just one man's version. Okay. I would say the market is healthy and the tide is rising. Through Q1, transactional units are up 5%. We continue to face years of inventory compression that is not able to meet the incredible demand in southeastern Wisconsin. That's a fact. Okay. I hear it all the time. Real estate agents always put rosy glasses on the market. Rosy glasses, rosy. No, like prices don't appreciate 24% if there wasn't demand. Okay. 2, velocity of market. This is important. And the reason why I included this is when you see 41% increase in expired listings, it's telling me something. Okay. The velocity of market. Ironically, the market is operating very comparable to years past in terms of velocity and the pace in which deals are transacting. Be real about that when you go into a listing point presentation. They can't expect that their house is going to sell in 48 hours. The average within the market is 32 days. Be real about that. Let's talk about that. You don't want to be part of the statistics that has a 41% increase in expired listings. You don't. Once you get a listing, you want to sell it. Be real. Okay. 3, demand of the market. Comparatively, the market demand in southeastern Wisconsin remains incredibly strong despite what has happened to buyers' affordability due to home value appreciation and increases in the rate environment. Okay. And how do we know this? Prices continue to appreciate. In the last 3 years, homes in southeastern Wisconsin have appreciated 24% in value. So why might this be? Well, thanks, Jim, for asking. Thanks, Kelly, for asking. Stable demand and low inventory pressures. Here's 3 key nuggets I give you. 72% of homes in southeastern Wisconsin had less than a 3% mortgage. There was low incentive to sell. Advancement of modern medicine, people are aging in place. They're aging in place longer. People are moving less. The impact of 2020 and COVID and the negative PR around nursing homes and this, that, and the other has caused people to age in place. 3, new construction development has not kept pace with the market demand, which has not alleviated the inventory pressure. All of which contributes to a market where demand remains incredibly strong. Prices have continued to appreciate. They're appreciating this year at low single digits, around 5% over a 3-year pan. They're up over 24%. Now, if you want to buy, this is what we need to do. If you want to sell, this is what we need to do. And you go into what it is that you do and how you serve your clients. Make sense? Beautiful. So last thing I'd share with you is this, and I'll close it with this. I pulled up the productivity report because sometimes I think we lose sight of the people that we collaborate with in order to help us elevate and move our business forward. I always talk about how your business will grow to the extent that you do. You will grow to the extent of those you surround yourself with. And this is a great reminder for you. KW Associates in general, and those that are sitting on the left of you and your right of you, are the most productive group in southeastern Wisconsin, bar none. How do I know it? The average agent in our environment closed 11 units that average 4.2 million in volume. On average, a KW associate closed 102% more closed volume per agent than the average in southeastern Wisconsin, and 69% more closed units than the average in southeastern Wisconsin. You're amongst an incredible group of folks, okay? You are. Lean on each other to navigate where it is that you are and where it is that you want to go. Also, I will share with you this because I've gotten this question a lot lately as people have elevated their price points and gone into the luxury market or wish to attain to reach luxury status. 2 quick things for you in the luxury market. These are homes from last year, 1/1 of 23 to 12/31 of 23, from 750,000 plus in southeastern Wisconsin. KW Associates sell 45% more luxury homes than the number 2 brokerage in the market. 45% more. Okay. They also sell homes 41% faster than industry averages. Mind you, above 750,000 is less than 3% of the total market, right? It's very, there's not a lot of oxygen up there. However, we will do whatever we can to help you win. And these are really good nuggets to share with you in terms of what it is that you're capable of doing. You can do it. Leverage the economies of scale of the group that's doing it with you. Make sense? Sweet. Lastly, just as a quick recap, gross commission incomes. And the reason why I left with this is because this happens and these are the results. In March, we paid out 3.8 million in commissions. It was flat versus March of 23. Okay. Let's just be real. I think there's some commission compression going on. That's okay. But the fact that it's flat is solid. Year to date, it's up 3.3%. We've paid out $8.7 million in commissions so far in Q1 of 2023. Profit share, many of you have been asking about it. In March, we'll profit share out $55,000 on April 21st. Year to date, $82,000 will go back to associates in the form of profit share in Q1 of 2024. You're a great group of folks. You lean on the person to your right, lean on the person to your left. The tide is rising. Be confident in your approach, and we'll help you navigate where you want to go. Sound good? Thanks, guys.